They call it the Bellridge place. 200 years old and forgotten by time, it sits high in the hills of rural West Virginia. A sagging farmhouse with rotted beams, black windows, and a stone chimney that belches smoke even when no one's inside. Most folks don't even know it exists. It's not on any official maps. You won't find it on GPS. But the locals? The ones whose families have lived in these hills for generations? They know better, and they stay far, far away. The land was first settled in 1821 by the Bellridge family cousins of old Virginia gentry, who were looking to carve out a corner of the wilderness for themselves. The records say they were wheat farmers, trappers, but rumors say they were more than that the soil was cursed before they ever laid the first foundation stone. The first 10 years were fine, productive even, but then people began to go missing. A traveler, a stable boy, a preacher, strangers mostly, outsiders. The Bellridges always had an excuse. He must have wandered off. He was drunk. He left in the night. But they always found blood. On the porch steps, in the well, on the ceiling of the barn. The town sent a deputy once. He didn't come back. His horse did. Eyes gouged out. Saddle soaked red. They stopped asking questions after that. By 1875, the Bellridge name was never spoken. Not in church, not in town. They stopped paying taxes, stopped coming to town altogether. People assumed they died off, that the house stood empty. But every now and then, late at night, someone would see a light up on the ridge, flickering orange, smoke curling up against the moon, and always the same thing reported: a shape standing in the field, watching, too tall, too still. In 1922, two boys dared each other to climb up to the Bellridge farm on Halloween night. They were never seen again. Their names are still etched into the schoolhouse wall. Tommy, Neil, never came back. Their parents searched for weeks, found the trail, found their flashlight, found a belt buckle stuck in a tree, 10 feet off the ground, but no bodies. And on the farmhouse porch, someone had carved a single word: returned. In the 1950s, the Forest Service tried to clear the surrounding woods, expand the parkway. 4 men went in, 3 came out. One had his hair turned white overnight, wouldn't speak. One tried to burn his own tongue off. The third walked to a church 4 towns over and locked himself inside. Wouldn't leave for 17 years. They said something spoke to them in the woods. Something that knew their names. Something that didn't blink. The project was abandoned. The road rerouted. And still, people go missing. A family of campers in 1983. A hiker in 1997. A real estate agent in 2009. And in 2018, a group of YouTubers decided to film themselves finding the Bellridge place. They uploaded the first 2 parts, driving, laughing, joking about haunted hills and hillbillies. The third video never came. The camera was recovered 2 years later by a hunter. It was buried under leaves 50 yards from the house. The last frame shows a woman's face zone of the group smeared with blood, eyes wide, staring upward, a shadow behind her, too many limbs, too many teeth. Locals say the Bellridge land isn't haunted in the way most people think. They say it's a wound. Something happened there. Something that poisoned the soil, tainted the air. Something that calls out when it's hungry. Some say the family never died. They changed, bound to the land, feeding it, becoming part of it. One story from an old farmer tells of hearing a voice in the trees while hunting squirrels. "I remember you," it said. "You watched me burn." He never returned to the woods again. The Bellridge place still stands, slouched like a dying thing, half its roof gone, porch slanted. But the smoke still rises on cold nights, and if you listen closely, sometimes you'll hear singing, low, off-key, and something hammering, like nails into wood. But there's no construction up there, no power, no life, just the echo of something old and hungry. They say, if you climb the hill and knock on the farmhouse door, someone will open it. Not immediately, not fast, but slowly, and behind it, the shadows breathe. One man did it, just last year, dared by friends. They stayed at the bottom with the car, watched him walk up the hill, flashlight bobbing. He got to the porch, raised his hand, knocked 3 times. The light died, and then, the screaming. They waited until sunrise, never saw him come back. But when they worked up the nerve to go after him, they found the porch. No blood, no sign of struggle, just a new word carved in the wood, admitted. People still report strange things in those hills. Deer that walk wrong, coyotes that speak, trees that bleed when cut, and always, the figure in the field, watching, waiting. And when the fog rolls in thick and low, the Bellridge place stands just visible above it, like it never aged a day, like it's still waiting for the next visitor. And if you go looking, if you follow the old trail, take the left at the split tree, step over the stone fence with the handprints carved into it, you'll find the house. The chimney will be smoking, the porch light will be on, and someone will be waiting, smiling. Because the Bellridge place doesn't just take you, it keeps you. And if you listen close, if the wind is just right, you'll hear the others, still knocking, still screaming, still trying to get out. But there's one more thing people don't say out loud, that sometimes on the last night of October, you can hear dozens of voices in the hills, laughing, crying, calling out for help. People swear they've seen children running through the woods, their faces wrong, too smooth, too blank, that the old barn door still swings even when there's no wind, and that behind it deep underground there are tunnels, a network, a hive, where the Bellridges still live, not alive, not dead, just waiting, feeding, and multiplying.
There's a shadow in the hallway and a voice beneath the floor. I lock the doors, I hold my breath, but it's closer than before. A cold wind in the mirror, footsteps on the stairs. I feel it watching silently, but nothing's ever there. Lost